Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad to be back after a brief break, and today I'm so excited to be showing you how to use some of Dollar Tree's newest farmhouse pieces in collaboration with Gleespend Designs. More about that later. So let's dive right into the first craft here. And I'm using this adorable bottle cap galvanized metal piece, and for the paint color I am using Waverly's ink. It's like a chalky acrylic paint. I love it, but for something like this, you're going to need to do at least 2 coats of paint on this if you want it to be thick. I did rub my brush along the edges, gave it a nice kind of older look. So I love that look that's happening so far. And this is one of the pieces that I'm talking about. This is one of Dollar Tree's newest farmhouse stencils. I love it. It says Farmers Market, Local, Fresh. And a lot of you guys asked me before why I only tended to use sponge brushes when using these stencils, and really it was just a personal preference. I mean, that's kind of how I started using stencils. I started off using it with sponges. That's what I thought you were supposed to do. I didn't really try to use paintbrushes too much because I felt like maybe I'd get too much paint in these stencils, but I've kind of figured out a way to do that where I don't get as much paint on it. I mean, I don't put as much paint on the brush to begin with, and then obviously you just take it off right before it's completely dry, and that really kind of gives you the best look. And so simple of a piece, but I just love the way it looks. So like I said, today is a big collaboration. This is a big deal. I am so excited to be collabing with Gleespend Designs, and she is big into farmhouse also. I love her designs. She has amazing reels on Instagram. Check her out. These are a few of her creations, some of her favorite subscriber creations that they loved that she made. And so definitely check her out. Check her out on YouTube, check her out on Instagram, check her out on Facebook. So she has a video for you as well. So head over to her YouTube channel and check out and see what she's made. I'm so excited to see what she's come up with. So I don't know about you guys, but my Dollar Tree has restocked these cathedral windows, whatever you want to call them. And so I don't know why, but I was able to actually find them all this time, and nobody seemed to want them. So I don't know what's in the water, but I love these windows. So I was excited to use this new farmhouse home fabric. That's one of the new pieces that also kind of came out around the same time as all those other farmhouse pieces. So I cut the fabric just kind of near or just close to the shape of the window. And then I took my scissors and I actually was cutting inside of the window. I don't know if you can tell from this angle, but I actually put my scissors inside of the window frame. And that's how I got it to cut exactly where I needed it to be, and how I knew that there wouldn't be any excess this way. So it kind of gives it a nice shape, outline. It's just absolutely perfect this way. So all you need to do is just hot glue everything down in place. I hot glued down all of the edges. And that was really all it needed. It's just such a simple piece. I just loved this fabric. I wanted to frame it in some way, so using this window just really worked out well. And next, these other farmhouse stickers. They have so many this season, I guess you could say. But these just fit so well with the fabric. I knew I had to use at least one of these to kind of replace the sign that was in the very middle of this cathedral. I tested out a bunch of stickers, tried to see what would work best, and I ended up liking this one the most. This was definitely one of my favorites to make, and just like the first one, so simple and easy. Next, this is going to be another semi-simple craft. I absolutely loved these wood pieces as soon as I saw them. I had an idea right away for them in my mind, but, oh, sorry if you can hear my dog barking in the background. So these wood pieces, always be careful because it is Dollar Tree and they are not perfectly sanded. So always make sure you be really cautious when handling these wood pieces, but also make sure to use some kind of sander and just sand those edges. I used Waverly black ink chalk paint, well, chalky acrylic paint for this sign as the background color, and this green is Waverly's moss color, and I really love this color. Green is my favorite color, so that's another reason why I tend to use colors like this. So I thought this moss color and the black would give it a nice contrast and really make the home word stand out. So a lot of this was off frame, and I apologize, but I wrapped twine around a simple bow, and then I used twine to wrap the bow with the lamb's ear. And then I just hot glued it down all together. So I apologize, a lot of it was off frame. So I just kind of adjusted things, and then I did cut the ends of this ribbon. So it's a tiny little sign, but I just love the way that everything looked combined. And this is a perfect everyday door sign. Now this one is another new farmhouse piece, and it is, so this little raffia is just held down by hot glue. So I just took my scraper tool, and it comes off pretty easily, but it did leave a slight residue on this, and that's never fun when the hot glue does that. So I just take my hot glue eraser, and by the way, this is one crafting product that I always link down in my description box. So I have a link to these sponges. You can either get them at Dollar Tree or you can find them on Amazon, but they took off all the remaining hot glue residue, so it was perfect. This is a Waverly plaster color chalk paint that I'm now putting on top of this mason jar. I didn't really have any ideas in mind for, you know, actually turning this into a chalkboard piece. I'm sure I will eventually, but I just had the idea first to paint this. I decided to leave the top of this as the normal chalk color because I like the lines on it, but maybe going back I would have actually painted the top of this mason jar gray. So I used this ribbon. I maybe got it from Walmart or Michael's. If you've seen this ribbon, just let me know where you got it down below in the comments. But this here is a Dollar Tree rub-on transfer. It's a new farmhouse one. Definitely see these a lot more than I've seen the other ones. So I just kind of cut a piece of this rub-on transfer. This is not the whole thing. And what you're going to want to do is just start to lift up and then rub on the transfer at the same time. And basically when you see the transfer turn gray, then you know that it has successfully transferred. And what I mean by turn gray is on the screen as you're lifting it up. If it's gray, then you know that it's adhered to your piece. So I just snipped off the edges after I hot glued down the ribbon, and as a finishing touch I decided to, you know what, if it's not broke, why not? I just put the original piece right back on with more hot glue. So this is the way it looks, and maybe in the future I would go back and maybe paint the top of this jar gray to kind of look like a silver lid on the mason jar. So this is just a quick reminder to subscribe. If you haven't already, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and on YouTube. Please make sure to subscribe as it helps my channel grow. Alright, hopping into the very last craft. We were just flying right through. This is a rather quick video. So you could do this craft with either one of these cutting boards. I wanted to show you just a couple different ones that you could use if you can't find these wooden ones, because these do sell out fast. There are other options. So this is a cute little wooden cutting board. I was so happy I finally found these. And then as soon as I found them, they sold out like immediately. So this is another one that I am definitely sanding down with my finger sander. And that finger sander that I use for all of my sanding, I always link that down in my videos descriptions as well. So if you're ever looking for a tool, definitely check out my videos description because I always try to link everything. So this is that moss color. Absolutely love it. And this is the rest of the rub-on transfer. This is actually, I think I used two different ones, but yeah, it's two sheets, but it's the same rub-on transfer. So this one, I cut this one a little bit because some things were going to get cut off a lot more and I didn't like the way that was going to look. So I cut this transfer to my liking, and I highly recommend doing that if you want it to kind of, I don't know, fit the piece that you're trying to stick this on. This one was a little bit more challenging to do the rub-on transfer for, simply because I did not wait long enough until this was completely dry, and that's a big challenge. So always make sure your items that you're painting are completely dry, obviously, before using these rub-on transfers. I was a little too impatient to get this craft together. So I decided to kind of sand this, rough it up a bit, because I mean everything was just, it was like stark black and it looked way just too, I don't know, like a store-bought product. So I decided to kind of rough up this cutting board a little bit. I did sand over the rub-on transfer even, and just kind of try to make it look more rustic. So these are a bunch of Dollar Tree ribbons. I cut them all the same length, and then I just decided to put them all in an X shape with the buffalo check in the middle, or gingham, whatever you want to call it. But that's where I'm going to cinch it right in the middle with some twine, and that's how I make those cute little bows that you always see me make in a bunch of my crafts. So I like to kind of put together a bunch of different ribbon and just kind of see how, see how it turns out. But I really felt like this needed something at the top here. And now I feel like this cutting board project is complete. So here is the final result. This is a really rustic piece, and I love this Dollar Tree farmhouse ribbon, but that's been around for a while. Thank you guys so much for watching, and just as a reminder, go check out Gleespen Designs video. She did a farmhouse and everyday farmhouse decor video as well, so please go check her out, and let's keep in touch on Instagram. Thanks, guys.